Hello. It is such a beautiful day, and I had the inspiration to get on, and I was really thinking today about how many different habits we have, right? We have so many different habits that we just go into without even thinking about it, right? So I know that we have all had the experience of driving in our car and you've taken this route so many times and you get into a thought pattern, and then next thing you know, you're to your destination or your home, and then you're like, oh, I totally just missed the last 10 minutes of my drive, right? But you drove safe, you got there safe, you made all the turns, you stopped at all the lights, you did all the things, but you were not consciously connected to what it was that you were doing, right? Because you're in habit. So we have habits in everything that we do. We have habits in, when we wake up, we set off into our routine. We have the things that we do at work, and then we have the things that we do at home. And then you rinse and repeat, and day after day, everything looks very similar. Am I the only one that experiences this? Or can you drop me a hands up or give me a 1 if you've experienced that too. If you are hopping on live, make sure you say hello. I love connecting with people, especially in and thank you for sharing this time with me. And if you're playing the replay, do #replay just so I know that you're here. Okay, so habits, right? So we have a habit in everything that we do. We have a habit in the way that we think about certain things, right? We have a habit in the way that we act or that we do things. And then so many times we're like, I would really like to get a different result, right? Like maybe something is happening that you're like, okay, I'm kind of done with this result. I would love to make more money or release excess weight or, have more communication in my relationship, blah, 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 right? Like whatever that thing is that you would like to shift, but you know that you have to change what you're doing and therefore what you're thinking in order to create that different result or create a new habit, right? So what we may not realize, do you realize that 95% of your day, like most of your day, is all habit, right? You're on autopilot. You respond to things in the same way, right? Because you have this certain way of thinking. I remember when I was interviewing within our family's business, I was interviewing new employees, right? So I would speak the exact same thing. And then my secretary, who also could hear the interview, because that's just how our office was set up, she would literally be verbatim speaking what I was speaking. And it wasn't like I was, reading a script. It's just what I always said, the questions I always asked, and then you get the answers, right? So then finally I enrolled her in doing the interviews for me because she was verbatim speaking what I was speaking because I always said the same things. Right? So just notice how in your life, right? Like you have habits in everything that you do. And the actions that we take, right? The actions that we take in our finances, the actions that we take within our businesses, the actions that we take within parenting, all of those come from our way of thinking, right? So you're not going to be selling your kids on eating fruits and vegetables if you don't have the habit of knowing or thinking that that's something that they should incorporate into their meals, right? You're not going to have the habit of, making sure that you drink lots of water unless you are thinking and you know that you need to add more water into your day, right? You naturally just reach for your coffee, right? And that's a habit, right? We, maybe you habitually wake up at, a certain time, right? You don't even have to think about it. Your mind, your body just wakes up at a certain time because that's your habit, right? But we all recognize that if we want to change a habit, because maybe you want to get a different result than that is currently getting you, then we have to create a new habit. And anybody that has been in like the workout world, right, that has gone to a gym, this is like the perfect time to like express this, but the new year, right? Everybody's making their New Year's resolutions. So everybody wants to get healthier this year. Everybody wants to feel better, release excess weight, get stronger, just have more energy, right? So people that go to the gym, like that's their habit, they know that until mid-February, they're going to have to wait for their machines or their equipment because they're going to have a whole flood of people that are trying to create a new habit. But come mid-February, the gym is theirs again because people, you know, they try and create that habit and then they slip right back into that comfort zone. How many times has this happened, right? You were like, oh, I'm going to get up early. And you do it for 3 or 4 days and then you disappear for a few weeks. You are going to eat healthier. So you do that for 3 or 4 days and then you go right back to the old habit, right? So, you know, we have that concept that creating new habits is hard, right? Because we have that thinking around it. Because in the past, maybe you weren't so successful at that, right? And so then you just go back to receiving the same thing that you have been getting, right? So I want to ask you, really think about what area of your life you would like to start getting a different result, right? So we all know that the definition of insanity is to continue to do the same thing over and over and over and expect a different result, right? So you can't, you know, continue to eat all the bagels and the treats and all of that stuff or only eat once a day and have like a really firm fit, amazing physique, right? We just know that's not going to happen. And, you know, if you are someone that is a result, then congratulations, you're one of the very few. But, you know, you can't continue to do the same things that you're doing and expect a different result. So look in your life, see where it is that you want to have something shift. Is it in your relationships? Is it in your, you know, your business? Is it in your finances? Is it in how you feel about yourself, right? And so it all comes back to our habits, and it all comes back to our habitual way of thinking. How are you thinking about whatever that is, right? So if you are interested in finding out more about how to change these habits, I have a tried and true system and I would love to share that with you. So click the link in my bio and hop over into my community and I would love to teach you more about creating different new habits that are going to get you where you want to go, because you're not going to get there doing the same things that you've always done, right? We gotta shift some things. So if that interests you, then click the link in my bio and come join us in my community. And I would love to share how we make that happen and how to make those changes permanent. All right. Love and light and expect abundance, everybody. Have an amazing day. Okay. Talk to you soon.